Tom Bussey, Public Information Officer for the Oceanside Police Department.
Thank you, Tom. And can you tell us what the call came out for this evening?
Initial call came out at about 9:52, 51, somewhere in that neighborhood. Initially came from the California Highway Patrol. So it came through a cell phone, through 911, and then was transferred to the Oceanside Police Department. Officers arrived. They found one deceased in the park, 49-year-old male, who was apparently out here walking his dogs and got into an altercation with 2 to 3 other individuals, one described as a Samoan male and the other one described as a Hispanic male. There was a couple of shots fired that hit our victim, and then those individuals fled the park. It was reported that they may have gotten into a late model Acura and a black SUV, and that's the only description I have of the vehicles, at least at this point.
Heard that this park here is normally pitch black at night.
It is dark. Yeah.
Walk your dog at the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's really dark in the park. I wouldn't say that the park's unsafe. It's normally safe, but there isn't any lights in the park at night. Of course, we had them all turned on so we could do our investigation here.
We got a large crime scene. Talk about some of the difficulties your officers face coming on scene.
Well, it is a large crime scene, so they're going to, walk the areas. Of course, they're going to look for evidence, but since it's so large, it's going to take a little bit of time, to walk around the park and through the park and take a look at everything.
I know it may be too early to ask, but is there anything that's telling you that the suspects know the victims, or is it?
Really, that's not known. Our victim was here, walking his dogs. Whether he knew any of the suspects or not, we don't know at this point. We're really early in the investigation.
Is the victim a resident of Oceanside?
He is.
Okay. Does he live in the area?
He does.
And were the dogs shot, or were they
No.
taken by the?
No.
Okay.
I don't know who took the dogs. He had a friend that was here in the park, and he may have taken the dogs. So I don't know exactly where those dogs are now. Whether they went back to where he lived or whether they went with the Humane Society. I just don't know that at this point.
Is there any assistance you need from the public at this point in assisting with your investigation?
Yeah, certainly anybody that had seen anything in the park, tonight, we'd like that information, and they can call, the Oceanside Police Department and leave that information with our investigations division.
And approximate time you guys are going to be here investigating?
Well, that's hard to say, but we're going to be here a while.
Into the morning?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll be in here to the morning. It's like almost 12:30, going on 1 o'clock now. So I would imagine, we may be here again at daylight, because it's going to all look different, at daylight.
Sure.
So we'll probably come back and go through the park again, at that time, or we'll still be here.
Does that assist you guys to come back another time and take a second look at it?
It could be take another look at it, at least in the daylight. It gives us a lot better perspective of the park.
And you said CHP got the call. Did they show up first, or did they just?
No. They had the car, and then the call, and then they transferred that to us.
Gotcha.
Right.
It's just that it didn't come directly to the department. It came through CHP, which kind of indicates to me that it came through a cell phone to Highway Patrol and then transferred.
Just, I guess, one more last question. When officers arrived on scene, did they start performing CPR on the...
They did. Officers arrived on the scene. Of course, the park was dark, but through their lights they could see that somebody was down in the park. There was another individual who was a friend of our deceased that was there, and the officers went directly to the victim and performed CPR until Oceanside Fire Department arrived.